Hi, I'm Megan from the Yoga Practice Summit View here at home during quarantine. Hope you all are well. Sarah has graciously let me teach some classes the last few months during my teacher training and be able to get some experience, which has been really great, and I thank you for all your support and encouragement. I should be finishing up my teacher training in the next week or so, but I don't know how that will look now, and if I finish, the studios are closed and we can't teach. So I'm hoping and praying they open soon and that we can all be back practicing yoga again with each other in our community. I'm reminded during this time of when my mom got diagnosed with cancer. She got a brain tumor and she passed away about 40 days after the diagnosis. But when we found out, we didn't know how long she had, and it was so uncertain and scary. But during that time, we had some really sweet interactions. She said some funny things because of her tumor that cracked us up, and I still will laugh at today. We had sweet memories of our family gathering together and having to slow down and be with each other. And even though it was a time of sorrow and grief, there was joy and beauty to be embraced. And I think the same is true now, that there's both to be embraced. And so I hope that you are well. All right, let's get started. The top of our mat, feet together, toes and heels touching. Spread out your toes, get deeply rooted down into your mat. Notice all three corners of your feet engaged in the mat toward the ground. Strong legs. Activate your quads so your kneecaps lift. Tilt your pelvis, your core is active, your glutes are strong, supporting your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down, open your palms up towards the wall in front of you. Chin is level with the ground. Take some breaths here. Notice what you notice in your body. Be present here. Interlace your fingers for our first asana underneath your chin. Thumbs crossed against your throat. Zipper up your arms. Elbows come to touch. Chin is level with the ground. Inhale through your nose. Take a nice deep breath, expanding your lungs in your rib cage. Press your chin against your knuckles. Tilt your head back. Open mouth, audible HA. Exhaling out all that air. Bring your gaze forward. Try to match the length of your inhales to your exhales. Deep inhale through your nose. Gaze at the sky. Open mouth, audible HA. Exhaling out all that air. Squeezing it out. Gaze comes forward. Inhale. Arms come up to frame your face. Maybe expand the length of your inhales as we go through this. Deep breath. Tilt your head back. Audible HA. Open mouth, exhale. Elbows come to touch. Gaze comes forward. Inhale. Expanding your lung capacity. Fill up your lungs. One more sip at the top. Tilt your head back. Audible HA. Exhaling out all that air. Squeeze out that last sip by engaging your core. Gaze comes forward. Inhale your arms up to frame your face. Press your knuckles against your chin. Create some tension there. Relax your shoulders. Deepest inhale yet. Tilt your head back. Audible HA. Elbows come to touch. Gaze comes forward. Matching our breath to movement with our pranayama. Inhaling, arms come up to frame the face. One more sip at the top. Tilt your head back, audible HA. Gaze comes forward. Strong posture here. Keep your legs, core, and glutes active. Inhale, arms come up. Deep inhale through the nose. Tilt your head back, audible HA. Squeeze out that last bit of air. Gaze comes forward. Last one, make it your best. Longest, deepest breath yet. Inhaling through your nose, filling up your lungs, filling up your chest and stomach with oxygen. And tilt your head back, audible HA. Elbows come to touch, exhaling out all your air. Gaze comes forward. Release your hands, your side, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Our next pose, Ardha Chandrasana. Inhale your arms up over your head. Interlace your fingers. Step back a little bit. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Lengthen up and begin to tick-tock left to right, right to left. Opening up the side body, moving the spine laterally. Keep your feet rooted. Keep your glutes and core active. Stretching out the left and right sides. Come back to center. Lengthen up. Let your head drop back for a slight back bend. Opening your heart, lifting it up. Come forward. Hinge forward with a flat back, forward fold. Release your hands to your mat. You can pedal out your heels, bend your legs, come up onto your toes, separate your feet, come into a ragdoll, stretch out your hamstrings, getting our legs warmed up, stretching out our spine. If your feet have separated, bring them back together, interlace your fingers, straighten your legs with a flat back, rise up, charging your heart as you go, and lengthen up for Ardha Chandrasana. Root down in the mat and reach over to the right, bumping out your left hip towards the left side, contracting the right side body, your obliques. Really press your biceps against your ears, squeeze them tight, squeeze your palms, relax your shoulders, keep your chin away from your chest. Come back to your breath. Your shoulders and your hips are in line or parallel with the front of your mat. Reach up, pull that left arm up and over to the right, really opening up that left side body. And inhale, rise back to center. Lengthen up, reach over to the left, pulling that right arm up and over to the left, opening up the right side body. Bump out that right hip towards the right. You're bending over a giant beach ball, making a crescent shape with the body. Grounding down through both feet. Core is active. Come back to your breath. Lengthening the spine. Lateral flexion of the spine here. Activating the left side obliques. Inhale, rise back to center. Drop your head back, let your head be heavy. Reach up towards the sky. Squeeze your glutes for a burst back bend. Draw a line with your fingers on the ceiling. Look back and go back, little sips of air. Press your hips forward. Inhale, rise back up. Hinge forward with a flat back. Release your hands. For Padahastasana, bend your knees, make a chest to thigh connection. Scoop up your heels with all 10 fingers, or you can grab the calves or ankles if you can't make that. Release your neck, head is heavy, lift your hips. Gaze goes through your knees. Squeeze your biceps, pull your head towards your toes. Lengthening the spine, releasing your lower back, stretching out your hamstrings. Slowly release. Interlace your fingers, release your index finger, and rise with the flat back. Second set of Ardha Chandrasana. Reach up and lengthen over to the right. Squeeze your glutes, core is active. Trimming and toning our waist. Glutes are active, supporting your spine. Ground grounding through your feet, reaching up and over. Finding space on the inhale, a little more length as you exhale. And inhale, rise back to center. Lengthen up, reach over to the left. Bump out that right hip to the right side. Pulling that right arm up and over, grounding through your feet. Come back to your breath. And inhale, rise back to center. Let your head fall back. Gaze up at the ceiling. Reach up, lift your heart. Squeeze your glutes and press your hips forward as you take a back bend, drawing a line with your fingers on the ceiling. You are meant to bend this way. Lift your heart as you go. Ground down to your feet. Inhale, rise back up. Forward fold with a flat back. Let your head go heavy, bend your knees. For our second set of Hatha. Scoop up your heels with your fingers, like your fingers are spatulas underneath your heels, which are cookies. Let your head be heavy. Lift your hips. Pull in with your biceps, your head towards your toes. Maybe one day straightening your legs. Gazes between your knees. Keep your eyes open. Exhale, slowly release. Straighten your legs, interlace your fingers, release your index finger, and rise with a flat back. Release your hands next to your side, Tadasana. Take a breath. Take a small step out with your right foot, about hip width. You can bring your fists together, place them between your toes and your heels, like your feet are on railroad tracks, in nice parallel lines, parallel with each other. Inhale your arms up, out, shoulder height. Squeeze your fingers. Sit your hips back and down. Squeeze your glutes, activate your quads. If you look down, you can see your toes. Sit your hips back. Just like you're sitting in a kindergarten chair and someone might pull it out. Try to get low. Root down through your feet. You can wiggle your toes and slowly rise up. Coming up onto the balls of your feet for a second variation of Utkatasana. Pretend your back is flat up against a wall. Send your knees forward. Stay high on your toes. See how high you can lift your heels, strengthening your arches and the tendons in your feet. Shoulders back over your hips. Find your drishti, your focal point, to help with balance. And inhale, slowly rising up. Release your heels. Squeeze your knees together like you're squeezing a dollar bill in between them. Sit your hips back, just like you're sliding down against a wall. With your shoulders and lower back against that wall. Keep your shoulders back over your hips. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your thighs together. If there was a ball in your thighs, it would roll off. So we want to be just angular with the ground so a ball can roll off our thighs. And slowly rising up. And release your heels. Arms come down to your side. Feet come together. We'll take Utkatasana one more time. There's 3 variations. Take the same step out, hip width distance with your feet. Inhale your arms up. Strong, active arms. Shoulders back and relaxed. Sit your hips back. Sitting in that little kindergarten chair. Glutes active, quads are active. You look down, check to see if you can see your toes. Strong, active core, long spine. Slowly rise up, come up onto the balls of your feet. Find your balance. Pretend your back is against a wall. You're sliding down that wall. Knees go out in front of you. Get those heels up high, strengthening your feet, your tendons and your toes and arches. And slowly rising up. Release your heels. Bring your knees together. Squeeze your knees together really tight. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Slide down that wall. Back, shoulders flat against the wall. Your heels will rise as you slide down. Squeeze your knees together. Remember, if you had that ball and your thighs would roll off. And slowly rising up. Release your heels, release your arms at your side, feet together. We'll incorporate the lower and upper body in Garudasana Eagle. Inhale your arms up overhead. Identify your right arm, swing it under your left. Crossing your elbows, wrists, and fingers, or you can grab opposite shoulders. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your biceps so that you feel the stretch, maybe in the back of your shoulders. Sit your hips back. Put your weight in your left foot. Lift your right leg up and over your left. Maybe tucking that big toe behind your calf. Work on tucking that toe, sitting back. Keep your shoulders over your hips. Squeeze your legs together. Squeeze your arms. Compressing 14 major joints in the body here. Find your drishti. Thumbs are in front of your nose. And inhale, slowly rise up. Arms up overhead. Identify your left arm. Swing it under your right. Cross the elbows. Wrist. Bring your palms to touch. Maybe your fingertips to fingertips. Really squeeze those arms. Hands in line with your nose. Sit your hips back. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift up your left leg. Cross it up and over. Trying to aim to tuck that toe behind your calf. Working on that tucking of the toe helps create that tension that we want in your legs. And your arms are squeezing together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Continue to breathe. And inhale, release, arms up over your head. Release your hands to your side. Take a breath. Inhaling through your nose. Exhaling out your nose. Inhale your arms up overhead. Identify your right arm. Swing it under your left. Crossing your elbows, wrist. Bring your palms to touch, or if you grabbed opposite shoulders, it's option 2. Sit your hips back. Weight comes into your right leg, or left leg. Lift your right leg up over your left. Trying to tuck that toe, really squeezing your quads and your calves. Create that compression in the body like you're a tourniquet. You're trying to wring out all the liquid. Squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. If you want to take sleeping eagle here, lift your elbows and forward fold over your quads. Gaze at the top of your mat. Inhale, rise back up and release. Identify your left arm. Swing it under your right, or find hands on opposite shoulders. Sit your hips back. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift up your left leg. Cross it up over. Aiming to tuck that toe. Squeeze, squeezing your legs, squeezing your arms. Keeping your arms and your knees in a line. If you took sleeping eagle, inhale your arms up. Exhale, folding over your thighs. Gaze comes to the top of your mat. Inhale. Slowly rising up, and exhale, release, flooding the body with fresh oxygen. Hands come down to your side. You'll find some standing balancing now. Weight comes into your left foot. Lift up your right leg for Dande Manu Janu Shirsasana. Your quad is level with the ground. Flex your foot. Core is active. You can stay here, or you can find interlace your fingers on your shin underneath your knee, or interlace your fingers, all 10 underneath your foot. Keep your standing leg straight and strong. Ground down through that standing leg. If your standing leg is straight, work to extend that right leg out in front of you. Flexing your foot, really creating balance in that standing leg and strength. Rooting down through all 3 corners of that standing leg. Maybe bringing your forearms to frame your calf. And slowly release just as you came in, come out. Release your right foot down. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift your left leg up. Thighs parallel to the ground, flex your foot. You can stay here or interlace your fingers underneath your knee on your shin or underneath your foot. If your standing leg is straight, work to extend your left leg out in front of you. Working on straightening it one day. Really working on strengthening that standing leg and the balance and all the tendons and muscles in that leg. You can work to bring your forearms down to frame your calf. slowly release. Just as you came into it, come out. We'll take a second set of Dande Manu Janu Shirshasana. Maybe try to take it a little further than before. Weight comes into your left foot, lift up your right. Flex your toes. You can stay here. Find that clasp underneath your knee on your shin or underneath your foot. Really ground down through all three corners of that left foot. If your leg is straight, your standing leg is straight, work to extend that right leg out in front of you. Flex your foot. If your standing leg is straight and your right leg is extended, you can bring your forearms down to frame your calf. Maybe one day your forehead to meet your knee. And slowly release. Both feet down on the mat. Weight comes into your right foot, lift up your left leg, flex your foot, interlace your fingers underneath your shin or stay wherever you're at, balancing each side out. So doing the same thing on your right side and your left. Or finding a clasp underneath your foot, extending your left leg out in front of you. If your standing leg is straight, strong work on extending the left leg out in front of you. If both legs are straight, work on framing the calf with your forearms. Maybe one day, bringing your forehead to make that forehead to knee connection. And slowly release just as you came in, come out. Both feet together, Tadasana Mountain Pose. We did a forward fold of the spine, now we'll do standing back bend, Dande Manu Janu, or Dande Manu Dhanurasana, standing bow. So inhale your arms up overhead, release your right elbow to your right hip, grab for the inside of your right foot, bring your knees together, keep your palm facing away from you, your right palm. Reach up, lengthen up with your left hand, open up the right shoulder. Begin to kick back into your right hand. Activate your glutes, activate your quads and hamstrings. Really kick into that right hand. When you can't kick anymore, reach forward. This is a 50-50 kick and reach. Reaching and kicking. Kick and reach. Strong posture, strengthening the spine, strengthening the backside body. Kick, kick, kick. Strong standing leg. Find your drishti, a focal point to look at, to help you be in the posture. And slowly release. Right foot comes down. Inhale your arms up overhead. Left elbow comes down to your left hip. Grab for the inside of your left foot. Bring your knees together, lengthen up. Kick back into your left hand. Kick, kick, kick. If you can't kick anymore, reach forward, hinging at the hips. Kicking and reaching. 50-50 kick and reach. Reach and kick. If you find yourself falling forward, kick more. If you find yourself falling back, reach more. Strengthening your spine, this beautiful back bend. Strengthening your balance. Come back to your breath. And slowly release. Feet together, hands at your side. We'll take a second set. Bring your right elbow into your right hip. Grab for that right foot, the inside. Palm stays open. Arm reaches up. Open up your right shoulder. Kick back into that right hand. If you can't kick anymore, reach forward, hinging at the hips. Opening up that right shoulder. Strengthening your standing leg, strengthening your balance. Gaze is just over your left hand. Squeeze your fingers. Active arms, strengthening your spine, and slowly release. Right foot comes down to meet the left. Left elbow comes into your left hip. Reach for the inside of your left foot. Inhale, your right arm up, lengthen up. Kick back into your left hand. Kick, kick, kick. When you can't kick anymore, hinge forward, reach. Like you're reaching out for someone in front of you. Kicking back into your left hand. Strong, active glutes, active hamstrings. Gaze is forward, up. Where you gaze, you go. Keep your eyes open. Kick, kick, kick. And slowly release. Nice work. Feet come together, Tadasana Mountain Pose. Take a step to the back of your mat. Feet together for Tula Dandasana, standing stick. Inhale your arms up overhead.
Squeeze your biceps by your ears, interlace your fingers, release your index finger. Take a small step out with your right foot. Point, lock, and lift your left. Hinging forward into a capital T. So you want to reach forward and reach back. Point your toes. Keep your left hip from opening up. Keep your hips parallel to the ground. So drop that left hip. Squeeze your glutes. Whole backside is active. Bring the left foot to the back of your mat. Right foot meets the left. Squeeze your biceps. Lengthen up. Take a step out with your left foot. Point, lock, and lift the right foot. Hinging forward to make a capital T. Reaching forward, reaching back. Point your toes. Keep that right hip from opening up. Keep it level. Keep hips level with the ground. Reaching forward. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Active quads, active glutes, active core. Release your right foot. Left foot meets the right. Release your hands. Take a breath. Take a second set. Inhale your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, maybe opposite from last time. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Take a small step out with your right foot. Point, lock, and lift your left. Toes in your left foot are pointed. Hinging forward, make a capital T. Drop that left hip. Squeeze your glutes, reach forward, reach back. And slowly release left foot. Right foot meets the left. Go into the other side. Take a step forward with your left foot. Point, lock, and lift the right. Keep your core active. Come into a capital T. Reach for that wall in front of you. Reach for the wall behind you with your toes, pointing your toes. Keep your right hip level with your left. And release your right foot to the back of your mat. Left foot meets the right. Release your arms to your side. Take a turn, quarter turn to the right. Inhale your arms up overhead. Take a giant step out with your left foot, the length of your mat. Bring your arms down to a capital T. Gauge your core, chin away from your chest, and exhale, forward fold the flat back. You can find a clasp on your calves, your ankles, or underneath your feet with your fingers. Gaze is at the side edge of your mat, keeping a long spine. Working to lengthen the lower and upper back, stretching out your hamstrings. Pull with your biceps, your forehead towards your mat, creating space between each vertebrae. Come back to your breath. And inhale, rise with a flat back. Point your right toes towards the back wall, towards the back of your mat. Keep your left foot where it's at. Sink into your right knee, trying to get that thigh parallel to the mat. Flip your palms, tilt your arms, come into Trikonasana. Reaching up with your left hand, reaching down with your right. Keep that knee over your right ankle. Press down through the outer edge of your left foot. Press into the heel of your right and squeeze your legs together to activate all the muscles here. Reaching up, reaching towards your toes, creating triangles with the body, active core. Slowly rise up, turn your right toes in, left toes out to the front of your mat. Sink into that left knee, arms are parallel, square your hips to the side of your mat, flip your palms, tilt your arms. Keep that left knee over your left ankle. Press into the outer edge of your right foot. Weight is in the left heel. Keep your left knee over that ankle. Reaching up with your right arm. Left hand is down towards your toes. Activate your glutes, activate your core, squeeze your legs together. Activating all the muscles in your lower body and upper body. Your gaze can be up at your right thumb. Find your breath, breathe here. Inhales and exhales. Engage your core, slowly rising up. Point your left toes to the side of your mat. And inhale, bring your left foot to meet your right at the back of your mat. Take a quarter turn to face the back of your mat. I'll face you, I'll face the front. So inhale, your arms up overhead. palms to touch, cross your thumbs. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Take a step back with your left foot. Pretend your heels are on a line down the center of your mat. Your left toes are out at a 45-degree angle. Square your hips to the front edge of your mat. Reach up, tuck your chin, forward fold. Dandayamana Bibhaktapada Janu Shirshasana. Bring your forehead to meet your knee here. So if you need to bend this front knee to make that connection, bend your knee. When you make that connection, press your head into your knee to try to straighten that front leg. Try to level your hips with the front of your mat, stretching out the back side of the body. You can keep your hands together or find them next to your feet, separated. Breathe here. Your hands have separated. Bring them back together and rise with a flat back. Take a step back, together, both feet. Bring your right foot back, line up those heels, and your right foot is at a 45-degree angle. Bring your hips level with the front of your mat. Inhale your arms up, overhead, palm to palm. Cross opposite thumbs in front or behind that you had last time. Squeeze your biceps by your ears, tuck your chin, forward fold. Keep that chin compressing against your neck to compress the thyroid and parathyroid. Remember to make that forehead to knee connection. So if you need to bend your knee, press your forehead against your knee. And release your hands to your side for balance. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Your hands are separated, bring them back together, and rise with a flat back. Bring your feet together, release your hands to your side. Now take a turn to your right, facing the other side of your mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Take a giant step out with your right foot. Arms come to a capital T. Engage your core and your glutes. For our second set of Dandayamana Bibhaktapada Paschimottanasana. Keep your chin away from your chest as you forward fold. Your hands can come down underneath your feet, on your calves, but you're pulling your forehead towards the edge of the mat, keeping your chin away from your chest to lengthen your spine, creating space between your vertebrae, stretching out your hamstrings. Try to get your forearms against your shins as you pull your forehead down. You can adjust your stance, widening your stance or making it shorter. Listen to your body. Breathe here. Engage your core and rise with a flat back. Turn your right toes towards the front edge of your mat. Sink your hips into a lunge. Keep your right knee over that right ankle. Keep your hips parallel with the side of your mat. Active arms, flip your palms, tilt your hips. Left hand comes at 12 o'clock. Right hand comes down toward your right toes. Press down into that pinky edge of your left foot. Weight in your right heel. Gaze at your left thumb. Fingers squeezing together. Making triangles with the body. Sink your hips. This is the pinnacle posture. Activating all the muscles in your body here. Squeeze your feet together. Active core, rising up. Left toes point to the back of the mat. Right toes point to the side. Sink into a lunge. Left knee lines over your left ankle. Flip your palms. Tilt your hips. Right hand comes up to 12 o'clock. Left hand down towards your toes. Keep your left knee stacked over your ankle. Press down to the outer edge of your right foot. Weight is in your left heel. Sink your hips. Squeeze your legs together. Engage your glutes. Core is strong and active. Opening up your chest. Gaze at that right thumb. Come back to your breath. One inhale, one exhale at a time. present. And active core rising up. Left toes point to the edge of your mat. Arms come up overhead as your right foot meets the left of the back of your mat. Take a quarter turn facing back to the front of your mat for our last standing posture for socks in a tree. Weight comes into your left foot. Grab the outside of your right foot with your left hand, bringing your foot to your left hip crease. Let your knee drop down, externally rotating your hips. Find your balance, root down through that left foot. Hands can come to heart center, or you can find tree branches here. Squeeze your glutes, active core. It's a meditative posture. Find your drishti. Notice your breath. Notice your heartbeat. Beautiful trees. Root it. Strong. And slowly release your right leg down. Weight comes into that right foot now. Bring up your left foot. Grab the outside of your left foot with your right hand. Bring your left foot into your right hip crease, letting your left knee fall open, externally rotating your left hip. Squeeze your glutes. Core is active. Pelvis is tilted. Hands at heart center or reaching up to branches. Gaze is up. Maybe close down your eyes to challenge your balance. Come back to your breath. And slowly release both feet down. Inhale your arms up overhead, deep breath. Hands come to heart center as you exhale. One more circle sweep your arms up overhead, gather in all that you're thankful for, all the goodness. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a bow to your standing practice. Meet me in Shavasana. Head towards the front of your mat. Feet towards the back. Laying supine on your back. Palms open to the sky. Feet spread out. We're just here for a short amount of time. Let your hips be heavy. Let your legs be heavy. Let your shoulders relax away from your chest. Jaws relaxed. That space between your eyes is released. Come back to your breath. If your feet have separated, bring them together. Draw in your right knee towards your chest. Make a clasp underneath your knee on your shin with both hands. Draw that knee up and in and then out towards your right shoulder. Both legs stay relaxed. Compressing your ascending colon. Deep stretch, maybe feeling a little pinch there in your hip. Drawing that knee down towards the floor or right shoulder, and slowly release the right leg. Bring your left knee up, making a clasp underneath your knee on your left shin. Draw your knee up towards your chest, then out towards your left shoulder and the floor. Relaxing both legs, squeezing your biceps, pulling that knee in. So your fingertips might even be wet. You're pulling so hard. Compressing the descending colon. Are you feeling that pinch? So you inhale, exhale. Release your left leg down. Bring both knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Grab opposite wrist or elbows. Really press those knees into your arms. Try to press your sacrum down to meet the mat. Maybe tuck your chin a little bit in towards your chest to try to make contact with your cervical spine, with your mat, grounding and connecting your whole spine into your mat. Really exhaling out your air as you press your knees against your arms, creating length. Inhale, pressing your spine against your mat. And release your feet up towards the sky, hands down at your side, And slowly lower your legs for 10, 9, 8. Keep your low back pressed into the mat. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Scissor kick your legs, quick kicks. Strengthening your hip flexors. And slowly release your legs down. Inhale your arms up overhead. Flex your feet. Reach up, cross your thumbs. This is Bikram's sit-up, a transitional sit-up. So exhale all your air. Inhale will sit you up, and you'll double exhale over your legs as you forward fold. So exhale all your air. Inhale, sit you up. Double exhale, folding over your legs. Feel a nice stretch in your hamstrings and your lower back. Meet me on your stomachs. Hands at push-up position. Press your feet into your mat. Chin is on your mat. Activate your legs so your kneecaps lift. Squeeze your elbows together like little cricket wings. Exhale. Inhale, peel your chest up off of the mat. Strengthening the back side of the body. Strengthening your lats and your glutes. Gaze is just forward in front of your mat. Protect your neck. And slowly exhale, release. Hands come to your side. Find a cheek on the mat. Chin comes back to the mat. Hands at push-up position. Press your shoelaces into the mat. Feet stay connected to the mat. Activate your quads so your kneecaps lift. Inhale, peel your chest up off of the mat. Gaze out in front of you, little to no weight in your hands. Strong, active backside body. And slowly release. Hands at your side. Go into Shalabhasana. So bring your hands underneath your body. Palms are facing the mat, like you're gonna bump a volleyball. Maybe the pinkies come to touch. Maybe your elbows come to touch. Legs are relaxed and active. Relaxed into the mat. Chin is on the mat. Activate your right leg. Point, lock, and lift it. Lengthening the right leg, keeping it nice and straight. Activating the whole back side of the leg. Reaching up, reaching back, and slowly release. We'll activate your left leg. Point, lock, and lift it. Reaching up and reaching back. Strengthening the whole back side of the leg. Right leg is relaxed, and slowly release your left leg down. Did one leg at a time now, we'll do both. Walk your fingertips down a little bit towards your knees. Tuck your chin, maybe so that your nose is touching the mat now. Weight is in your shoulders. Exhale out your air. Inhale, kick both legs up. Squeeze your glutes. Nice, strong, active legs. Weight comes into your chest. And slowly release. Both legs down. Hands come out from underneath you. Purna Shalabhasana. Bring your hands out to a capital T. Chin on the mat. Keep your legs zippered up together. We're going to do both the upper and lower part of the body. So exhale, inhale. Lift up everything. Chin and legs. Strong, active backside of the body. Try to see if you can get your legs and your arms at the same height. Gaze is at the top of your mat or just down in front of your mat. Slowly release. We'll take another set of Purna Shalabhasana. Keep your arms at a capital T or bring them out like Superman or Superwoman. Legs are zippered up, toes pointed. Exhale and inhale, release, rising up, reaching forward, reaching back like you're flying over the city. Weights in the soft part of your belly. One more lift and release. Find a cheek on the mat, arms at your side. Our last belly down posture is Dhanurasana floor bow. So grab the opposite feet
both feet with your hands just where your shoelaces are underneath your toes. Weight comes into the soft part of your belly, chin's on your mat. Exhale out your air and inhale, lifts you up, kicking into your hands, opening up your chest, looking up. Keep your knees together. Lift. Strong, strengthen your spine, and slowly release. You can windshield, wiper your legs side to side. And we'll take a second set, so find your feet. Exhale out your air, inhale, lifts you up. Really squeeze your glutes, lift. Weight comes into the soft part of your belly, open your chest up, look up, and slowly release. And windshield wiper your legs side to side. Coming up onto your knees in the middle of your mat for Supta Virasana. You can stay here if this is more comfortable for you, or you can separate your heels and sit your sits bones down onto the mat behind you, keeping your heels next to your hips. If your sits bones are on the mat, you can start walking your hands back. If they're not quite there, stay here. Slowly walking back, get a nice stretch wherever you're at in your quads and your tendons around your knees. Working your way back, keeping your knees together. You are on your mat, find opposite elbows, opposite hands, and breathe here. Wherever you're at, notice that nice stretch in your quads. 4 major muscles support the knees. Stretching tendons out, opening up your heart, slight back bend. Switch opposite hands and elbows. And back to your breath. Slowly rising up. Come up onto your knees, heels on your glutes. Inhale your arms up overhead for Ardha Karmasana. Palms to touch. Reach up, squeeze your biceps by your ears, activate your core, and forward fold. Keeping your hips on your heels. Maybe one day your forehead will come down and touch the mat before the ninth edge of your pinky. Keep your arms active. Elbows are up off of your mat. You're pressing into that outer edge of your pinky. Pressing your hips back towards your heels, reaching forward, creating traction in the body. Forehead is on the mat, chin away from your chest. Strengthening your arms, lengthening your spine, getting a nice stretch in your glutes. Activate your core and rise up, keeping your hips on your heels. Release your hands to your side. Come up onto your knees for Ustrasana Camel. Hands come to your back pockets. Squeeze your elbows together. You can always find fist on those pockets if it's sensitive to your wrist. So press those elbows together. Open up your heart. Let your head fall back heavy. Squeeze your glutes. Press your hips forward. You can find your heels or stay with your hands on your hips. Pressing your hips forward. Engage your glutes. Opening up your heart. Little sips of air. It's a major heart opener. And slowly rising up. Sit back on your heels. Reset your spine. We'll take a second set if you want, or you can find child's pose, the option. Come up onto your knees. Hands at back pockets. Squeeze your elbows together. Let your head fall back. Press your hips forward. Engage your glutes. Maybe finding your heels. You can always come up onto your toes to help give you a little bit more height on the heels. Opening up your heart, little sips of air. Press your hips forward, making a capital D shape with the body. Slowly rising up. Come down onto your hips, reset the spine. Now we did a back bend. We'll do a forward fold, bending the spine the opposite direction for Sasangasana. So forward fold, finding a clasp on the bottoms of your feet, fingers on the inside of your feet, thumbs on the outside. Tuck your chin, bring your forehead to your knees, but don't let your head touch the mat. Lift your hips, creating a nice stretch on the back side of your body, your mid, upper, lower back. Squeeze your abs, compressing your colon. Tuck your chin, nice stretch in the back, and slowly release, rising up one vertebrae at a time. Find your way onto your sits bones for our final stretching. Bring your left foot into your right thigh. Flex your right foot. Inhale your arms up overhead, reach up. For Janushirasana, forward fold, bend your knee to make that forehead to knee connection. Once your forehead meets your knee, press your forehead against your knee. Get that nice stretch in the back, maybe in your hamstrings. Find the spot where you're at. Be kind to yourself. Breathe here. Inhale, rising up, switching legs. Left leg goes out, right foot comes into your left thigh. Inhale, raise your arms up overhead, hinging forward over your leg, making that forehead to knee connection, and pressing your forehead into your knee. Making that forehead to knee connection creates a calming sensation. Breathe here, inhaling through your nose, exhaling out your nose. Flexing your foot. Inhale, rising up. Send both legs out in front of you for Paschimottanasana. Flex your feet. Inhale your arms up overhead. Lengthen your spine. Hinging forward at the hips with a flat back. Find your peace fingers around your big toes or your palms around the bottoms of your feet or ankles. Try to keep a flat back. Gaze at your big toe. Lengthen your spine. Inhale, create space. Exhale, maybe go a little bit deeper in the stretch. Keep your feet flexed. Breathe here. If your chest and thighs meet, you can drop your forehead. Listen to your body. And slowly inhale, rising up. Release your hands at your side. And go into Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes. Bring your right leg over your left. You can stay here, or you can tuck that left leg under your right hip. Sitting up nice and tall. Right hand comes behind you as a kickstand with little to no weight in that hand though. Inhale, your left hand goes up and comes across your right leg. Press that tricep against that right thigh. Gazing behind you. Nice tall spine. Core is active. Breathe here. Resetting the spine. Just stretching your hips. Relax your shoulders. Inhale. Come back to center. Bring your left leg up over your right. If you had your left leg out on the other side, keep your right leg out this time, or tuck it underneath, matching what you did, balancing out each side. Inhale, your left arm behind you as a kickstand, right hand goes up. Reaching up, bring that right arm over your left leg, pressing it against your left thigh. Gaze goes behind you, strong core. Nice and tall, relax your shoulders.
twister, really good for digestion. Deep inhales through your nose. Deep exhales out your nose. Inhale, come back to center. Find a comfortable seated position, Sukhasana, easy seated, or you can sit on your knees. Arms straight out in front of you, palms down on your thighs or on your knees. Relax your shoulders, sit up tall, engage your core. Our last asana is Kapalabhati. Taking a deep breath through your nose, filling up your lungs, and then exhaling out through your mouth or nose, making a ch sound, snapping in the belly. So deep inhale through your nose and exhale, snapping in your belly, cooling down the body. Strong, forceful exhales. Exhaling out all that air. Inhale your arms up overhead, palms to touch, hands to heart center. Take a bow to your practice and find your way into Shavasana. Feet out in front of you. Relax into your mat. Sink into your mat. Let your body be heavy. Be here. Be present. Let yourself notice what you notice. Thoughts, emotions, your body touching the mat, making connection to the earth, the noises around you. Thank you for joining me for another edition of the Hatha 26 sequence. So I hope you stay well. The light in me is thankful and so grateful for the light in you. Shine that light until we're together again. And namaste.